Have you ever found it difficult to tune out the noise? The voice inside your head that may tell you that you're not good enough to pull it off. Who do you think you are? Perhaps it's telling you to change the work so it better suits an algorithm. You think people will actually watch that? Perhaps it questions if the pursuit is even worth it in the first place. YouTube is a waste of time. The noise can come from external sources like your audience, friends, or family. And other times, it can come from yourself. I'm currently reading this book called The Creative Act, A Way of Being by Rick Rubin, and he talks about tuning out undermining voices. When we start sharing work, outside influences can emerge. And as we begin to work on our next project, loud outer voices may speak at us from the sidelines, influencing us in different creative directions, demanding the work now, without concern for quality. The intention of our art can shift from self-expression to self-sustainment, from creative choices to business decisions. The key to navigating this phase of an artistic journey is learning to tune out. When I look back on this series of philosophical videos, there are a few times where I let the noise interfere with my work. I feared that the algorithm wouldn't promote my videos, so I felt pressured to make videos in quick succession. However, looking back in retrospect, I felt the videos could have been a bit more authentic to me had I not rushed. For example, my latest video, I really wanted a shot of me shadowboxing to the sunrise. However, I also wanted to get the video out as quick as possible. On the day of filming, it was a bit cloudy, and because I wanted to get the video out as quick as possible, I just settled for a bluish greyish sky. The funny thing was that the very next day, there was such a nice sunrise, so if I just waited one more day, I would have got the exact shot I wanted. Also, I could have stabilized this shot as well, but I kinda rushed the editing. I guess I listened to the noise, and it told me that if I didn't get out the videos quickly, then I wouldn't get views, and views determine how good my videos are. This of course affected the quality of my work. I now realize that putting in that extra effort is worth it, because I would have known that I would have done my best. Now I just have this feeling of, what if? Maybe if our purpose is to create art, we need a way to define success that isn't just money and numbers. Maybe that is what would allow us to make our best work. And what if making our best work is actually what leads to money and numbers? Rick Rubin describes that popular success is a poor barometer of work and worth. In order for a work to connect commercially, stars must align, and none of them relate to how good the project is. It might be the timing, the distribution mechanism, the mood of the culture, or a connection to current events. If a global catastrophe happens on the same day a project comes out, the project might be overshadowed. Most variables are completely out of our control. The only ones we can control are doing our best work, sharing it, starting the next, and not looking back. Given all these uncontrollable factors, it's easy to see how we might want to do everything in our power to feel some sort of control. Maybe the noise gives us some sort of familiarity that allows us to ease our uncertainty. But are these voices even ours? Where do they come from? And what if no one is in front of us critiquing our work? And how do we actually tune out? Rubin argues that, more often than not, these are outer voices that were absorbed early in life. Perhaps a critical or doting parent, teacher, or mentor. These voices are not our own. We have internalized someone else's judgment, so it can be met with the same indifference as the other random chatter. Any pressure you feel around the work, from the inside or outside, is a signal for self-examination. The artist's goal is to keep themselves pure and unattached, to avoid letting stress, responsibility, fear, and dependence on a particular outcome distract. And if it does, it's never too late to reset. I wonder if the anxiety of the outcome leads us to cling on to something familiar, and even if it's detrimental to the work, it gives us a sense of familiarity. Who knows? Nonetheless, maybe when it comes to making art, Rubin was right when he said that all that matters is that you are making something you love to the best of your ability, here and now. Reflecting back on my previous videos, perhaps perfection is not something we should be aiming for. If the work represented who we were at that point in time, that is success. That video represented who I was at the time, and the only thing I can do is learn from the process of making it and implement its lessons into the next video, which is this one you're watching. The lesson I learned that Rubin described succinctly was, if we can tune into the idea of making things and sharing them without being attached to the outcome, the work is more likely to arrive in its truest form.
If you have an idea that you genuinely think is good, don't let some idiot talk you out of it.